Bad back, achy knees, grey hair or no hair, more responsibilities, more debt, more fat, less time, less social life, and fewer years left on that biological ticking clock. It's this realisation that motivates people to do something out of the ordinary. Take that year out and travel the world, learn to play guitar or buy an expensive car and force some enjoyment from the daily commuter traffic. Stick to the limits, follow the rules. Or, do what you always wanted to do.
You know, as much as I've always liked rallying and enjoyed, watching, spectating, as much as I always wanted to be a rally driver when I was younger, you just never either have the money all the time or both, which you need.
Right, where are we at?
I tend to at some point build my own exhaust. Yeah. Subject to silence and whatnot. So yeah, the intention is to beat the escorts with a Sierra, with an old, uncompetitive Sierra.
This is Tone. To put this into perspective, Tone isn't a rally driver, and none of us know the first thing about running a rally team. But this is what we all need, right? This is that thing to shake up the monotony of our lives. Never competed in a rally before? Who cares?
I went and did a scholarship at a rally school up near Bradford. The prize is essentially win a Peugeot Sport this season. I did relatively well, got through to the final. The Sierra, which isn't the most popular choice of cars, everybody will say that they're not competitive, that they're old hat. The Sierras that are out there that are competitive currently are ones that are expensive show cars that come out for a few rallies a year and to enjoy themselves, but not with the intention of wrecking their car and costing a fortune.
Tone told me he was planning to start a rally team. By planning, I mean he'd already bought a rally car after seeing it spectacularly flip onto its roof at Donington. Tone, spotting what he thought was a bargain, had cash in the driver's hand before the poor guy had even had a chance to unbuckle his harness. Right now, he's trying to get the car ready for his first rally in 12 weeks' time. Even if we complete the car in time, Tone has still got to get his National B licence before we can compete. Tone takes on most of the work himself, putting in the hours after work, staying late, while the majority of us are dribbling into our pillows. With 6 weeks to go, the welding is finished. Also, keeping him on his toes is the roll cage, the out-of-date regulation seats, the respray, replacement windows, and every other component that you don't think you need to replace when you buy a rally car on a whim. Tone has removed the old Peugeot 2-litre 306 engine and replaced it with a 1.6205 GTI. If he keeps the old engine, he'll be competing in a tougher class, and that contains many of the much faster escorts and more modern competitive cars. The 1.6 puts him in a class 2 where he thinks he'll stand a better chance of getting a result, and probably a better place to gain experience. Unfortunately, Tone's work commitments mean the build hits a standstill, and the rally Tone hoped to be competing in passes him by. This is real life. It's the elastic tied to your back when you try to break out of your daily routine. Having fun? I don't think so. Get back to work. So I'm off to see Tone. He's got an update with the rally car. We didn't actually manage to get the car done in time, so we missed the rally, and everything's gone quiet since then, so it's almost as if it sort of fizzled out. But anyway, he's got something for me something to tell me, so see what it is when we get there. Luckily, Tone is tenacious enough to look for another way. Since the last time I saw him, Tone managed to get his licence, and he's bought another rally car. Having never competed before, supported by a gang of enthusiastic amateurs with a minuscule budget in a car costing less than $3,000, this is the Sierra Tone hopes to put up against some of the best cars and drivers in Club Rally.
With us not having the money and being classed as the underdog, you just have to try that bit harder in the areas that you're good at, because you've not got the experience. Let's be fair. You know, we've all watched rallying, we all went in the motorhome and we all stood there going, why didn't you go that one up there? We've all talked it, but it's a lot different when you're actually doing it. And I don't mind time and labour, you can have as much as you like. But when he's making his parts list, I'm not sat there going, oh yeah, you know, it's expensive, because it's not my concern. And it's easy for all of us that are around him to go, yeah, buy that, do this, but it's Tone's money, you know. And he has a wife and 2 kids that need feeding. We are a group of, I'd like to say friends, who are fortunate enough to be on the back of a chap that can afford to buy a rally car. We're assisting him, and let's just see where it goes.
But we do want to. We would like to.
The sponsors really want the car in the cameras because he wants to sell his product.
When you're looking at the time, skis.
But I don't, and that's what it's nice to think that Tone's, you know, started 43rd and then he ended up 32nd, whatever we do. But that's not the motivation for me. The motivation for me is A, to be part of it, and B, to make sure he gets round and gets back.
Tone's first rally arrives. He's seeding 79th of 82 cars, and he's been placed in Class 4, competing against some of the very quick teams. As well as the Millington engined escorts, Tone is also up against another 2 Sierras, a Sapphire and a Sierra Cosworth. It's not a great start. A big crash has closed the stage before Tone even gets a chance to run. He and his co-driver Paul are given a nominal time of 11:36, putting them 71st overall. Stage 2 is a rerun of Stage 1, and he finishes in 10:34. Car 70, the Sierra Sapphire, is 13 seconds slower than Tone, but the more powerful Sierra Cosworth is 42 seconds out of reach. Tone and Paul begin to get quicker as they gain confidence. The rear keeps locking up under braking, and Tone really needs a brake bias valve. But for now, he has to try and manage the issue. It's looking good as Tone starts to overtake, carrying more speed into the long corners as he follows one of the quicker escorts. But then, in the confusion, Tone and Paul go round the stage in extra time and incur 2.5 minutes more than they should have done, dropping them down the overall standings. By the end of the day, Tone manages to climb to 11th in his class and 51st overall. It's an astonishing result considering it's his first ever rally.
I've had 1 or 2 offs. Probably no more than anybody else would have done in the first rallies. But
I think, to be honest, to be fair, there was a similar amount of offs from other people anyway. So like when you look down the timesheets, lots of people got 15-minute, you know,
yeah,
or 13 when everyone else was doing 10.